exciting GKA KITE World Tour time and Hydrofoil Big Air Women's Competition about to kick off here in a brand new region, in a brand new site for competition, the Fahid Island Complex and the Abu Dhabi season closer for Big Air. My name is Ben Costanjuris. I've got Liam Dredge alongside me, and we are going to kick off with the women's division. We've only got about 45 minutes worth of water time before we have our opening ceremony, so we're expecting to see our 5 women and their first round action. And surprisingly, Liam, we took a small lunch break from our e-foiling competition, and in that time, it blew up.
Yeah, I mean, blew up could be a phrase for, let's say, the lighter winds we're seeing here, but, you know, it's better than absolute, yeah, for Abu Dhabi, because we know that the forecast here this week, it is on the lighter side, and we do have plenty of competition to get through, but the good thing about this discipline is, you know, they're on foils, so, you know, they are able to get out in the lighter winds, and they can adapt their equipment according to the conditions, which is also very much beneficial for them. And like you said, Ben, we're kicking things off with the Hydrofoil Big Air Woman. We also do have the Hydrofoil Big Air Men, but most likely, because we are a little bit tight for time today, we'll just focus on the early rounds of the women. And we're going to have 3 athletes on the water. They're going to have 40 seconds per attempt. Sorry, 2 athletes on the water. As you can see, the scoreboard on the top left-hand side.
Well, yes, because we've got 5 athletes.
Yeah.
2 athletes in Heat 1, 3 athletes in Heat 2.
Correct.
So you were right both times.
That makes me feel even better.
They will take it in turns. They've got 7 attempts, and 3 of those will count towards their final score. You can see them on the left-hand side. Christelle Divry, Katarina Salandova in this first heat, and then we will also see Joanna Mulner, Annie Brandon, and Andrea Zust in the second of our heats. And we this is the first time we've met the women this year because they weren't able to take part in Silt.
Yeah, we didn't have the numbers, unfortunately, registered for Silt. So it was just the men over there with Hugo Wigglesworth taking the victory in Silt. And yeah, this year we've got enough women to have a division for them, which is great. And just hoping now that we get the conditions and obviously a world champion will be crowned.
So looking out for, first of all, the blue of Christelle Divry. She will be the first athlete to do a trick. And then Katarina Zalandova. We're watching actually one of the athletes, I think, from the second heat, so we can ignore her because green is not being used for our first heat.
Correct, yeah, we've got blue and we've got yellow.
Now, obviously green and yellow quite similar, and there is a lot of kites actually out on the water. A lot of the men have taken their 13s, 14s and 15s out to get an hour in because they're here anyway for the opening ceremony a bit later on, so they're getting themselves wet and experiencing the water. Did you get your feet in the water at lunch?
I still haven't. Did you?
No, neither did I. Failed.
You'd think that both of us from the UK would be absolutely, you know, all over it, but not yet.
So into the box then comes the female in blue. In fact, she's already done a trick, and so we're waiting now for... we've got 2 tricks on the board. So I think we're waiting for blue again.
Yeah, and here this is just Finn Flugel, one of the men, so we don't need to focus on Finn here. We're just looking for the blue lycra or the yellow lycra of Katarina Salandova.
Yeah, so the blue lycra of Christelle Divry is to the left of the competition area, and she's having a swim. There she is. She's done 1 trick already. Katarina Salandova has done 1 trick. And it should be yellow now. So we're waiting, yellow in the box on the right-hand side. And that is green. That's not yellow. Yellow actually disappearing out of the box now. So we are going to go back to blue, I think, unless the yellow is coming back towards us. We still think we're on yellow. Yeah, so she's now coming into the box to the right of where we're looking for the moment. So if we pan to the right from the blue, and she is coming towards us now, getting ready to do a trick. She's got a 1.7 on the board already. Yeah.
That's a back roll kite loop there that she went for. Just missed that one on the screens. But we'll, sooner or later, we will be up and running following the right rider. So back roll kite loop there for Katarina Salandova.
There we go.
And you can see just turning around now. So she's already tricked. We're now going to shift our attention onto the rider in the blue, just to the left-hand side. Perfect. Riding toe side here. You'll see Christelle There you go, looking over her shoulder. Because what the athletes do have, there's a screen on the beach. And that screen on the beach will come up with their lycra color, and it will also show them a second countdown from 40 seconds. So they'll get a good idea. So they can look to the beach, see their color, and then they can come in and do their score. And then their score will also show on the screen on the beach as well. So that's also a very nice way there, exactly that. So if you're ever confused with exactly who's going on, then you can refer to that big screen. As we see a nice little jump there from Christelle, throwing in a couple of rotations. Not too much height, but you know the wind is on the lighter side. So I'm not expecting any big jumps, Ben.
So we've seen a front roll board off for Christelle on her second jump. And she also did a front roll.
I think she did a front roll 1 foot as well.
1 foot in the first of her tricks. So those are two on the board for her, a 3.17 and a 4.83.
Yep.
Katerina is next to go. We haven't got the score. Scores take a bit of time to come up, so they're a bit behind reality. So we're waiting for that third score to come up, and we're waiting for Katerina now to come into the box and do her jump. She's heading towards the box now, and actually backs out of it. So heads back out of the box, not comfortable with the wind conditions for that one. She has done a back roll, a board off, and a kite. She did do a kite loop back roll.
Yeah, she did. And here she comes. She's locked in now. A little bit more speed. You always know when the riders are going to engage when they sort of start to motor through the competition there. As you see here, Katerina coming in, looking to jump, coming in quite close, and just going for a back roll 1 foot there. So pretty much, you know, without the kite loop, I thought maybe she would add in the kite loop, but, you know, when there's not much height there, no point.
Having a look at her kite, she's on the gong equipment, doesn't look particularly large for her. We saw some of the men out with 15-meter kites and the hydrofoiling kites, but I can't actually, she's just disappeared out of my view.
Yeah, she's on the gong. She's riding a tubed kite as well, whereas it seems that the majority, or I would say the choice, would be the big tubeless kites, you know, being able to fly in the lighter winds, you know, offering a little bit more hang time and definitely height when it comes to these sort of conditions.
So presumably because of the sequence, we do have a hole of 40 seconds where we're supposed to see the green.
Yeah.
So that's why we have this slight delay before we go blue, but blue and Christelle does another trick.
Yeah, nice double front roll there from Christelle. She went for that last time. That one looked a little bit cleaner as well. And I think, you know, despite the discipline being called hydrofoil big air, we understand the conditions here are on the lighter side. So we're probably going to see more air style tricks. I would say less kite loops, more about technicality. You know, definitely some board flips, a lot of rotations, you know, grabbing the foot by the handle, all that sort of stuff we're going to see. And hopefully if the wind increases, we'll start to see more of, let's say, the big air trick list.
Christelle on a 12-meter kite. I would say that Katerina is certainly smaller than that. Looking at the kites in the air, it looks quite a bit smaller than the other kites around her. We are waiting for her next. Front roll 3.5 for Christelle. And can the judges delay the pause between the next athlete if they have to confer?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, the judges, right now in these early rounds, obviously, you know, it depends on the sort of tricks that we're seeing laid down. But at the moment, we're seeing the sort of tricks, you know, that are sort of more, let's say, on the basic format. So for the judges, they sort of, you know, understand, you know, what a back roll 1 foot should score or a back roll kite loop. But the more technical it comes, you know, sometimes the judges need to find themselves, you know, discuss the trick score, relate it to maybe a similar trick that's been done by another athlete to be able to compare. So for sure, there are discussions that happen. But, yeah. All is smooth running, just a straight jump there from Katerina, quite heavy on the landing. One of the key things that the judges do look for is coming back up onto the foil after you jump, showing a nice clean exit. You know, if the rider comes down quite heavy and doesn't really bounce back up on the foil, that will affect the sort of the outcome of that score.
Yeah, so height, power, flow, and amplitude is what the judges are looking for. Execution, clean, controlled, stylish tricks with solid landings on the foil. Committed with speed and smoothness. Grabs only awarded if they add style. Pretty chill in the back of the shot there.
Yeah, that's Finn.
Board offs and 1 footers, higher score if done clear, visible with stretched legs. Innovation, of course, kite loops judged by kite angle, timing, height, and power. Surface tricks scored, but higher jumps and powered moves are valued more in light winds.
Correct.
Landing, clean, perfect landing, up on foil, extra rewards. Splashdown and uncontrolled landings result in less scores.
Oh no, we've got a wet sleeping blanket out there now. See, this is the issue with these, with the kites that don't, that you don't pump up, the tubeless kites. You don't really want them to be on the sea for too long because, they tend to get very, very heavy. Fortunately now, these tubeless kites, they are very good at relaunching, which you can see at the moment, or we can see, sorry, but not on your screen. Christelle just managing now to get that kite back up in the air, but you do really want to try and avoid crashing those kites for too long.
So yeah, no tube at the front leading edge of that kite. That's what Liam's talking about. And so Christelle with a crash landing. That's the first crash we've had. She's got 3 solid scores. She's got a total of 11.53, and with only 2 athletes, the progression is pretty simple. So she can push the boundaries here with her other scores.
Yep.
Whereas Katarina really does need to improve with a total of just 6.24. It's her turn, so she's coming towards us back into the area now. There is a defined area where they need to do their tricks, and she's not actually in that area quite yet.
Coming in now, right foot forward. Lowest score at the moment is a 1.67. She actually got 2 of those, one of them with the back roll, and again going for the back roll 1 foot. It looked like she maybe wanted to get both feet out there and to do a back roll board off, but I don't think she got that front foot out, looking to advance on one of those lower scores. Because also these riders then looking to tick the different families. So they have a trick list, and within that trick list there are different families. You have like the back rolls, you have the front rolls, you have the kite loop family. Innovation is another family. And part of the requirements is for each of these tricks that count towards their score, they have to come from a different family.
Next athlete to run. 2 more attempts from Christelle Divry. Lowest score is a 3.17. She'll know that because you can see it on the big screen. Actually, no, she won't see it on the big screen. She's only got a total on the big screen. But she would have seen the individual score if she was watching. So probably, if she can remember that first trick that she did, that big screen would have showed the score of the first trick and waiting on.
You'd hope she'd have a caddy, wouldn't you, on the beach, helping her out?
Yeah, but there wasn't many people knocking about.
No. No. And also, I guess, in these lighter conditions, riders probably prefer to actually stay out there and not actually come in and out because, you want to keep riding. You want to keep that apparent wind going, especially when it's super light like this. Staying on foil, keeping the momentum. Last thing you want to do is crash and struggle to get back up on up and riding.
I think we are waiting on Christelle, so she's now coming towards us. Just a little bit of readjustment going on, but doesn't look massively committed. So we're waiting on the previous score for Katarina, I think, and that is why there potentially is a delay. That
there you go. There it drops.
So hang on, we're saying that's the score. So
yeah, that's a 1.53. And then you've got the total heat score underneath. 11.53 is Christelle, and then the 6.24 being Katarina. So that's what it's showing. At least they can see whether they're in first or second place, but that screen just doesn't show them which trick they necessarily need to improve.
Yeah, they just need to remember.
Yeah, you'd think that they would be able to know which was maybe not performed as well. But Christelle now coming in right foot forwards.
Usually we would have flags to signify, but because we've got technology here in Abu Dhabi, we have the big screen. Something a little bit more fancy from Christelle. Yeah,
nice front roll with a 1 foot there. Showing a nice bit of technicality on quite a simple rotation, but always when you're getting the board off, it becomes that little bit, that added, let's say, complexity to it. And it's a smart move there because look, you see her first trick with a 3.17. That was also the same trick, so she understands that first trick is the one that she needs to improve. And I would probably imagine that you'd have a similar score for what we just saw there. So coming in now to the 6th trick attempt from Katarina.
Needs to go big here if she wants to.
Yeah, she's got to get a nice score.
She might even be tricked. No, she's not tricked out, but you need to a significant score.
Yeah, she needs something that's going to give her a sniff on the second, on the last attempt. Sorry. So here we go. Coming in with plenty of speed, which is good. That's a back roll kite loop with a heavy landing. If she's going to sink, can she get back up onto the floor? So judges will definitely count that. Nearly would have been a goner if she went swimming there. But yes, it was a heavy landing, but still, you know, she is ticking that kite loop family in these lighter conditions. I don't think it's going to be anything too big, probably around the 3s or 4. Yeah, there you go, 2.43, just under the 3s. And last trick attempt.
Last trick attempt for Christelle Divry, who has the win in her pocket and heads towards the area. I think if I'm not mistaken, all of these athletes will go through, well, these two will go through regardless anyway. We're not eliminating anybody at this stage.
Essentially these early rounds are a seeding round. That's a 1, that's a 2 with a back foot off as well. Double front roll.
Ooh, a much nicer landing there.
Yeah, with a board, with a 1 foot. I was about to say a foot off, and that just didn't make any sense.
No, it does. To me,
it does,
yeah, one foot off makes the same. So that's Christelle done then. She can take herself back to the beach. Those that finish, she will progress through to the 3rd round.
Correct.
And those that finish 2nd and 3rd will go into round number 2. So we may get a chance to see Katarina again today. She actually still owes us a trick, doesn't she?
She does.
Not quite there yet. We've got athletes going through the competition area, which is a little naughty, whilst we're still under competition. I'm trying to spot her gong kite. Okay, I see her now. So coming up across the wind, up towards the Fahid Island Beach Club, which is starting to really kick off for the awards at the opening ceremony a little bit earlier on.
Went for the back. Yeah, went for the back roll with the 1 foot by the front foot. Yeah, and didn't land that. So that's going to be heat over. And as you mentioned, Ben, Christelle is going to be flying through to round number 3. And then we'll see the other 3 women riders in the next heat.
Yeah, so that Christelle's last trick was an improvement from her first trick. She did improve her lowest score, 3.77, total of 12.13. Next athletes on the water. Swiss lady Andrea Zust, Annie Branton from the UK, and from Austria, Johanna Müller.
Annie Branton's got to fly the British flag for us, Ben.
Well, hang on.
Well, hang on. You live in France now, don't you?
I've got, and I'm very close to the Swiss border, so I could be favourites of all. Apart from Austria, because they're the worst enemy, because they have mountains too.
Oh yeah.
Therefore, the French don't like them. Don't like them.
So same rules apply. 7 trick attempts, 3 counts, 40 seconds maximum per trick. You can be tricked out as well if you go over that 40 seconds. I do think judges will be a little bit lenient on the time, given the conditions are on the lighter side. But you know, we're not going to give them, let's say, a minute and a half to go and do each trick. There's enough wind out there to put down a few good scores, as we clearly saw in the last heat.
And there is your box in which you are supposed to do your tricks. Andrea Zust there. So purple, why she needs a full-length wetsuit in 31 degrees.
That's the water temperature, mate. It's freezing.
No, it's not, though, is it? It's 31 degrees. And as she's Swiss, she's probably used to glacial waters. It is not necessary, but she's in the yellow, so she will go 3rd. In the green is Johanna Müller. And
blue, Annie Branton.
Yes, I can't see a green out there anywhere. Out of our window, I say. Annie, I think I see in the middle of the trick area.
Yeah.
This is definitely yellow, though.
Yeah, this is Andrea. She's going to be last to jump in this sequence. Annie will be 2nd in the blue lycra. So now we're just going to try and hunt down this green lycra up above. At the moment, it's not in the competition area.
No, moreover, I can't see it out of my window. So are we waiting for an athlete, potentially, before we get going?
Potentially.
We still have half an hour's worth of window of competition before opening ceremony begins. We've also got a jet ski coming across the competition area.
It's all happening.
As you do. We did have a couple of the e-foilers going out and having a play earlier on, and they came.
It's a foil fanatic. So here we go. This is Annie now. Yeah, this is good. She's got just about above 30 seconds, so that will be a crash for Joanna on her first trick attempt.
Is it a crash or is it a no-show? Because we didn't see anybody out there.
One of the two. They both mean the same.
So, I mean, that's going to slightly confuse Annie Branton, because she would be, and that's actually Christelle that we're looking at, not Annie. That's the blue from the previous heat. Annie Branton, is it? No, yeah. That doesn't look like Annie Branton to me, unless the photos are all wrong. So, not really sure what's going on here. That is Andrea Zust. We found her. Christelle Divry coming towards the beach then, and did a little trick in the competition area just to confuse us. The drone following her. Not really very easy. Is that blue in the middle with the orange kite coming towards us now? So we do have an athlete in the middle of the competition area who's gone down in the water with an orange kite. And for me, that is somebody who might have done some sort of trick. And now we've got the yellow of Andrea Zust, and she does her first trick. There we go. So now we've worked out what's going on, sort of. First trick for Andrea Zust.
Yeah, I think what's happened is a lot of these riders, I know the brands that they ride, but because of the lighter winds, they're all opting for like foil kites now, and not all of them are traveling with their own foil kites. So maybe they're borrowing some foil kites from their friends at the beach for their heat in order to go out in these lighter conditions. But that's making it a little bit harder to pick and choose the riders out here.
Well, I mean, it almost suggests there isn't a Joanna Muller and there isn't an Annie Branton on the water. Because we haven't seen anybody. The orange kite I was talking about just a second ago, that looks like a male to me. Came towards the beach and then disappeared. So I think the only athlete that we have in this competition, in a true protest of our sports crew, is Andrea Zust. Here she is. She's looking over her shoulder, waiting for perhaps a score. So Joanna Muller has timed out officially, according to our timing screens. That clock, by the way, I think that clock should start when the competition starts, but it is not. So 6.7, nice score for Andrea for her trick. And the music has started once again on the beach. Now nobody disappears, right? So the problem is, and as Andrea is actually out in the water, so she's going to win. The other two will just go through to the next heat. Yeah,
they will go through to round number 2 for sure. Yeah.
So it's not a disaster that they're missing.
No, but very odd that we...
but it's a bit confusing.
Very odd, yeah.
And particularly this Gong athlete who's coming into the competition area and getting right in the way of our cameras. And Andrea Zust is saying, get out of the way. I'm supposed to be doing a trick here. You are not supposed to be in the competition area.
Yeah, that's Pedro, one of the freestyle riders for the GKA freestyle. Right in the middle of the competition area. Okay, so just trying to get a little bit of context into where exactly Annie and Joanna are. As we now have Andrea riding this Harlem kite. She's coming in, the only rider there in the box. Just waiting for a colour light to show on the big screen.
And of course, they've got to go through the process of giving the 40 seconds to green, then giving the 40 seconds to blue. Blue gets a score of 0 because they don't exist. And now Andrea has her opportunity to do a trick, as long as there's nobody in the box getting in the way, which the orange kited athlete seems to still be. Now disappearing outside of the box, but it really is like it's an area which is you're not allowed to be in. It's reserved for the women. And I tell you what, Andrea might be on her own, but she's throwing it down. Yeah,
back roll 1 foot, pretty much into the foil straight away. I'm getting some news now on the other 2 riders, thankfully. So both Annie and Joanna have crashed and gone downwind, which is making it, which is why we can't see them, because they are trying to relaunch those kites in these lighter conditions, and it seems like they are struggling to do so at the moment. So Andrea, all she needs to do is just keep doing what she's doing.
Well, if they are able to get back up and get back, there's no saying they can't be part of this if they are on the water.
No, but they will be way on the right-hand side of what we're looking at now. So this is quite a good shot just to stay put on until we do see those riders come back into the box. As you mentioned before, this is the competition area. We're out here in Fahid Island, Abu Dhabi. This is the second stop on the Hydrofoil Big Air GKA Tour for us, but it's actually the first event for the women because there wasn't enough for us to compete with the women in silt. But here in Abu Dhabi, we do have it. World titles are up for grabs. We've also got the men Hydrofoil, big names, Finn Flugel, Hugo Wigglesworth. We've also got Lorenzo Casati, a huge name in the industry, big air rider, king of the air. He's won all of the big titles, let's say, that are out there to be won, and he'll be looking to add another win to his trophy cabinet, let's say, here in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there are any athletes or kites down on that right-hand side, and it's difficult to see from this drone shot, but there's plenty of athletes out there taking advantage of this small window in the wind and getting a chance to go out and feel the conditions, because we will have the men's competition at some point. Yeah.
Andrea actually dates Pierre Schneider, who's over on the men's hydrofoil, and he's had some good results as well. I mean, the pair of them, I believe their first event was last year, and Pierre, if I remember rightly, had a podium finish as well. Andrea also has won her event, so they're no strangers to being up there. And she's now got 30 seconds left on this trick attempt. Trick attempt number 3, I believe. I think she's done 2 tricks. Locking in again, coming in with a nice bit of speed. Speed is your friend here. It helps you get that height, and she goes for a double back roll, straight back to foil.
That's her third trick.
Third trick.
Internet issues now mean that we don't have the score for her second trick, although the big screen has her score for her second trick. Go figure. 10.94, I think I remember when we last went to that shot. But another really nice trick from Andrea, totally in control, and looking more dynamic than we saw from Christelle in the first heat.
Yeah, definitely. She looks like
she's waving to.
Pierre. I bet Pierre's out there. Hubby.
Actually, I do now. No, I thought I might see an athlete in the water, but can't. So there's something in the water. There's a board in the water. Oh, yes, and there's an athlete in the water going to get to the board. In a blue lycra, actually, wasn't it? So I think we may see Annie Branson.
The return of Annie.
The return. There she is.
There she is. Is that her? Yes, I think it is. Yes, that's Annie.
She'll be knackered already, but we might well see a
There we
trick
go.
from Annie.
She's back in the mixer.
Brilliant.
Okay, but it's not her go. I think maybe it will be, actually, because Joanna's also not here.
Yeah, she's got 30 seconds, so she can go. Thumbs up to her. She's only missed 3 tricks. Yeah, come on.
There you go.
There's a massive big screen that's got your colour on it, and it's got your timing on it.
There we go.
And you haven't got very long before you're going to be timed out. So go for a little trick. 10 seconds remaining. She's not quite in the box yet, looking out my window, but she goes for something anyway.
Standard back roll. But it's what she needs, Oh,
no.
So that could go down as a crash. Didn't quite, because part of it is doing the trick, but the other section is also, you know, like you said, going out cleanly and showing good control afterwards.
There you go, 1.63.
So they did score it. Okay, so Andrea now, 30 seconds on the clock with a 14.37 total score. So we now have both Annie and Andrea in this heat, and it's a back roll. Oh, with going for the rodeo, where you sort of tuck the board between your legs, but really it only counts when you completely let that board go. That's when you can sort of, let's say, classify it as a rodeo. But tough to do that sort of trick in these conditions because you don't get the height and the time, let's say, to perform it properly. But you can see back roll, takes off both feet, tucks it between the legs, but doesn't let go of the front foot strap. But nonetheless, a good trick.
Nice. There's something different from the girl so far.
Okay, so Joanna still out there somewhere. There's Annie. But it seems like Joanna's had a tough start to this heat. But, you know, no one is eliminated in these early rounds. Round number 1, heat number 2. After this, we'll go into round number 2, where actually it does become elimination.
Are we wondering what this boat is decided to do in the competition area in terms of...
It's just having a fun little...
maybe moving the competition area, but at least he's out the competition area.
Yeah,
that's a little bit safer than floating around in the middle of it. And that's Annie in the center of shot. Wouldn't have thought it's her turn. Would have thought it's probably Johanna, who's not here.
Yeah, there we have Andrea.
So
Andrea and Annie actually ride the same brand of kite.
So Annie's got 40 seconds. So
yeah, so she's and there she is.
Swimming. Oh.
Yeah, it's just.
She's got a small kite again. Looking at what came past, we've only had a brief glimpse, but it doesn't look like a particularly big kite. And
there you go, she's up.
Struggling. She's on a 12.
Yeah, she's on a 12.
Yeah, okay. She's now foiling as well. So.
Yeah, there's enough wind there for them on these kites. Of course, it's not, let's say, big air conditions, but you know, we've still seen Christelle put up a score into the double figures. We've seen some, you know, the 4s and the 5s be landed. You know, Andrea now with a 15.44, which is actually higher than what we saw in the previous round. And Annie just seems like she just struggles every time she comes off the foil, just reigniting that turn. But yeah, she's been tricked out there. So Andrea goes for her trick attempt. That'll be a crash.
Well, I mean, no pressure on her whatsoever. And it's showing that she's enjoying herself. Total of 15.33.
Let's have a look what it was. I believe it might have been a front roll. Yeah. So front roll, but rather inverted as well, which is also quite nice to see. Bringing the foil above her head.
Annie goes out of the box. This would be when Johanna would have her opportunity. We've got 40 seconds. Then we switch over to Annie, who has a score on the board, I seem to remember. We've no visibility on our scores from our side, but it is on there. Yeah, she got 1.6, look. So she has scored something, puts her in second ahead of Johanna Muller. And it is her turn. Where is she? She's heading away from us, I think, at the moment, right now. And it was a back roll that she was scored. So Andrea has 6.17, a 4.77, and a 4.5. But the last trick was a crash. And looks like Annie struggling to get back up again. Just to head a bit further downwind. She's now up and running, so maybe gets a chance to get into the box. A couple of other athletes floating about. And here she comes. First proper opportunity to get something on the board.
Double back roll.
Oh, doesn't land it though.
Yeah, I mean, most likely that's going to go down as a crash. If they, yeah, she's gone down to her shoulders, so I will be very surprised if the judges give her any sort of score here. Sort of whipped around there, tornado style. She was able to, you can see just where the lines are pointing on her landing, directly up at 12. And that's never really a good sign when you're coming down. You want to sort of have that kite slightly in front of you, creating a little bit of momentum and pull going forward, so that you can quickly sort of ride out after the trick. If the kite sits at 12 and you land sort of straight underneath it, you're guaranteed to sink. These bigger kites, they also move a little bit slower, so you've got to factor that in as well. Back roll board off.
And that penultimate effort from Andrea Zus, I think, signals one trick attempt from Johanna Müller, who I've just seen out on the water. Hopefully we don't miss her, because she's coming directly towards us right now. But there's Andrea's latest attempt. We're waiting for her scores, but we do have the green of Johanna Müller in the box. Swimming in the box right now, right down closest to the beach, closest to the Fahid Island Beach Club. And she has now 40 seconds to do a trick. So one trick attempt from Johanna Müller, but she could still, doesn't really matter, I suppose, being second or third, because you're still going through to the next round anyway. Whereas Andrea is going to progress through to the third one. But at least she gets something on the... No.
Go on.
No.
Nope. Again, just going for that back roll. But, yeah, not being able to ride it. The tricks themselves are there. It's just on that landing. Just seems like that positioning of the kite is just letting her down a little bit.
Unfortunately, that is her last attempt. So she's missed all of the competition. And so now to Annie. 1.63 on the board. Can't come first.
Back roll, 1, 2.
Oh, losing the board. So she is into second position. And a glory run then for Andrea Zust. As we see Annie once more. Being ambitious with it, but the momentum of the rolls
Exactly.
basically flicked the board off.
Yep. So Andrea here, last trick attempt, I guess, for her. Doesn't need to do anything other than, well, she could just chill, basically, if she wanted to.
No improvements on the last two, I don't think, on the scores.
Coming in, right foot forward. Here we go. Just goes for the 1 foot. Showing a slight little bit of technicality there with bringing it over the front of the boards and then back behind her. But still, just the one straight jump with a 1 foot there.
So that is the two heats from round number 1 for our Hydrofoil Big Air women. Winning Christelle Divry and Andrea Zust. They move through to round number 3. The other athletes will meet each other. So Jana, Annie will meet each other in round number 2. But that, I don't believe, will be next, because we'll need a little bit of a reset time to go through into the next round, because 2 of our athletes are in this right now.
Yeah, there's always that heat break that you need.
So with that heat break, I believe that means we won't have any more action out on the water today, because we've now got our opening ceremony about to happen on the beach. And so action on the water, I imagine, is done.
Yeah, just getting confirmation from the sports team. But been a good day. I mean, we started with e-foiling. We were able to go through the time trial runs where we saw Justin Shake come out of that one as the top dog with a 1 minute and 6 second lap. So we will be definitely doing some more e-foiling tomorrow, where we'll be doing sort of an elimination where they're up against each other, knockout, which will be quite exciting. And then hoping to continue on with the hydrofoil big air, or it may be even the freestyle, depending on the conditions. We typically find that the wing tends to kick in around that sort of 1 p.m. time. So we are on standby for when those suitable conditions do come in. But managing to finish now round number 1 of the women's hydrofoil, waiting for confirmation whether we will go over to round 2 or if that will be it for today. We still have our opening ceremony, and then we have another week of competition. We've got GWA free fly slalom taking place. We've also got wake foil next weekend, and we've also, like I said, got the hydrofoil men and the GKA freestyle kite. That first stop for this year for the freestyle riders. Second stop takes place in Brazil next month.
So there is Andrea Zust back down on the beach with our Armstrong foil and board. Big 12 gong kite. And plenty of athletes out on the water enjoying an afternoon. We've even got some wing foilers joining the party as well. The wind still looking okay, but soon enough they'll be needing to get off the water and get themselves prepared for the opening ceremony. As Liam said, we have a 10-minute break, so we will press pause on this. We may rejoin you in 10 minutes. We may not. We'll find out. Just hang with us, and if we disappear, then see you tomorrow. 1 minute and 10 seconds before we go back to competition for round number 2. I told you we'd be back, and it wasn't 10 minutes. For heat 1 of round number 2. Now, because we're in the women's category and there are only 5 women, there is only 1 round heat in round number 2. And then we would, in theory, go into heat 1 of round number 3. And there's only 1 heat in round number 3?
Correct. Yeah, it's pretty much straight into a final.
Yeah. We do have our opening ceremony happening directly after this for all of those who are down on the beach. But we will crack on with this women's competition. And we are going to... We've got 3 athletes, again, in round number 2. These are the athletes that finished 3rd and 2nd in the 2 of the heats previously. We are missing, therefore, the green. And we will start with the blue athlete. Oh, hang on.
This is Katarina back roll kite loop. I actually think what's happened is Joanna Müller is not competing.
Right, okay.
That's what I think is going on here.
I mean, she only just got in the water from the last one.
Let's have a look.
There she is.
Oh, no, there she
So
is.
she's late. Yeah, she's just coming out. So she was
so
late.
The riders are making it confusing for us.
No, but no, that's actually not particularly fair on her, because when she came out off the water, she had 10 seconds. She was told 10 minutes, and it is only 8 minutes since we gave that 10-minute warning. So starting it early has meant that Joanna has missed her slot, I think.
Well, let's see. We're in sequence now.
Are we in sequence?
We are in sequence.
Yeah. So that yellow trick was the first trick we saw.
Yeah, and now Annie Branson.
So we're waiting for red, who is on the top left of the box, I think. No, that's a red athlete disappearing. So we're going to yellow again. Yellow again. All right, Katarina Salandova is in yellow. And coming up, there we go. First trick from her. I think what we saw earlier, doesn't quite land it. I think what we saw from her earlier was her warm-up. There's Annie Brandon. And we didn't see much of her in the first event because she spent most of it swimming downwind and did get up in the end, but was struggling. Looks like the same setup for her. She wouldn't have had very much time to change it, and so could still struggle on this one. Here she goes.
Back roll there for Annie, and you can see that's a little bit better, the way that she directed the kite and steered it back the way she was going. It helped her get a nice clean sort of exit from that trick there. So nice back roll there for Annie. Scores on the boards, and we go over back to the blue lycra with Joanna now while we wait for those scores for Annie. And you can see, at the moment, Joanna just down.
So Joanna did get...
smart move. She's waiting. Look, she's looking at the screen. As you can see, the 1.4 from Annie. Now it goes blue, and we'll see Joanna. Yeah, you see, she's diving her kite. However, it looks like it wants to stall. You need to let that bar out. Let that bar out. There you go. Let it out. There we go.
It did say that she had a score on the board. It said she had a 1.8. I'm not sure if that was an error or not, because I'm pretty sure we didn't see her.
Well, maybe we missed the first round of tricks. But we're now in sequence there with Joanna. We should have a nice smooth running now on this last heat of the day. Left foot forwards.
Losing the board before she even goes into the air there.
Yeah, you can see she wanted to have that front roll. But board catching an edge on the way up meant that she came out both straps. So we will move over to Katarina, but we'll probably have to wait for Joanna to get that board, so she's bang in the middle of the competition area.
Problem is, she's now got to try and get herself back to that board. Obviously, if you are a hobbyist, then you have the board attached to you. But these athletes, wanting the board to rotate and do tricks with it, they don't want it to be attached. Nice, disciplined trick there from Katarina. We are going to lose one athlete. So the athlete that finishes third in this heat, they will be eliminated from the competition. And yes, Jana Müller has a score on the board already. That will be a score for Katarina.
Let's have a look at the replay here. Oh, they missed it.
But I'm afraid we don't really have very good eyes on scores. We know that this lady is due to give us a trick in a few moments' time.
Yep.
Gets herself pumped up onto the foil, but in terms of eyes as to what she did before, no idea.
She had the back roll, which I think was a 1 point, if I remember seeing the screen.
Yeah,
it was a 1.4. She's gone for a straight jump with a 1 foot again. So putting some scores on the boards, not big ones. However, looking at what's currently out there, you know, just getting those scores on the board could be enough to go through to round number 3. At the moment, let's just watch the replay here. You can see, takes the back foot out of the board, nice extension, and just smoothly riding out of that one. So Annie there, another trick, and we go back to Joanna in the blue lycra. Here we go, following left foot forwards. Trick, back roll, and riding out of that one. So looking at Annie's 1.4, I think that will probably score higher just because it was a little bit higher, the trick itself. Yeah, not bad for the height there. I think she wanted the 1 foot there, looking to try and grab the back of the boards.
That might be judged down for the attempt on something that didn't succeed. Depends if the judges see that as an attempted grab or not.
Seems like the riders are waiting sort of in the area until their flag comes up. And then, yeah, you can see Katarina looking over her shoulder, waiting for the yellow. 2.17, yeah, I thought it would be better than Annie's 1.4. So here we go, Katarina. Tends to do her tricks coming in right before, but it looks like she's going to go the other way now. Oh, going for a board off with a transition.
That was nice though, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit of variety.
Was able to come out of that pretty smoothly. Not much for crash landing.
Gets the board off nice and early. Tucks it in and then comes back the other way. Probably looking around the 2s at most for that. Yeah, 2.3. Okay, now back with Annie. And she should be going now. There you go. And we're up.
So right foot forward, heading back towards the beach. Needs to get out, just avoid some of the sightseers that have ventured into the competition area.
Yeah, it's a double back roll.
That's not bad either. Yeah. Nice landing.
Yeah, nice big double back roll there, covering a little bit of distance as well in regards to the ground. That shouldn't affect it, maybe. She did ride out of it, but, you know, then also did crash not far after. So let's see. Let's keep our camera there. Let's see what it says in regards to that score. It'll be interesting to know. She is currently leading. Oh, no, she's second, sorry. She on the 3.07. First place is Katarina with a 4.94 and Joanna there with 2.17. This is going to be a big one if the judges deduct some points because of the slight crash. But no, 3.23 will be additional to what her current score is. So nice one there for Annie.
Puts her in first position simply because she's got 3 scores on the board.
Yeah.
And Joanna actually has only 1 score on the board because she's done 2 back rolls.
Exactly. So the better one knocking out the not so good one, let's say.
8 attempts here with 3 to count, sorry. As opposed to the 7 that we had in the previous round. And it is the blue lycra now. Decent amount of height from that one.
Yeah, back roll 1 foot. That's what she was looking for on the last one, but she couldn't grab the boards. But more height gave her more time, and she was able to come out of that back roll 1 foot cleanly.
Quite impressive to see some of the men who are out there practicing with their 15s and things like that. There's a decent amount of pace that they can achieve in what must only be about 6 to 8 knots.
So it's getting light there now. But we expected that around this sort of time of the day for the conditions to to quieten right down. Hence why this is the last heat of the day. But Katerina now going for a kite loop. Heavy landing. Didn't necessarily come out of that on the foil too quickly. But ticking a kite loop category, which will mean that that score will most definitely count. I don't think she actually needs that much more to get into. Oh no, she actually is in first place, sorry, by 0.04. 2.33 there, so advances a little bit further ahead. Yeah, because Annie's back roll, that double back roll, actually just pushed out her individual back roll of a 1.3 that she opened up on. So Annie only has 2 tricks counting towards her total score as well. So it's still an open playbook here.
Into the second half of this competition. All of our e-foilers watching on.
Yeah, important trick here for Annie. She goes for a front roll. Does she complete the rotation? Yes, she does. Okay, so ticking another family, the front roll family.
And landed that on the foil, didn't
Yep.
The board didn't touch the water again. So that is progress. And definitely feeling much more comfortable than she was earlier on. Here we go with a tighter replay.
Yeah, managed to slow down her rotation a little bit there. Yeah, you can see straight back on the foil as well. Board didn't even touch the water.
Sort of technique with the foot there to almost create some momentum on the foil so that it didn't stall in the water. Back to blue, back to Johanna Müller.
Double back roll, wanting the board off the 1 foot as well there, it seemed, looking at the back of her board.
And so that's another crash for her.
Yeah, another crash. And it's pretty close now to the coming towards the end of this heat.
So Katarina's kite loop was scored at 2.33. She's now coming a different direction, so coming towards us.
Yeah, she's got a 7.27 total score with 3 tricks on the board. Lowest score is that kite loop family, so maybe she's going to go for another one. She can also go for a board off.
So the camera needs to widen out if she goes for a kite loop, because it's the kite that does the work rather than her. Not this time, though.
Back roll board off, clean landing as well. That's definitely going to push out one of those low scores for her. It's going to make it a little bit tougher for Annie. You can see here, grabbing the board, taking. Does she get both feet out? Oh. She might have got both feet out, but only very just. I don't know if I would classify that myself as a board off. I like to see the board away from the feet, full extension, and then putting it back on. But I do think this is going to score, but after review, maybe it's not going to do too much different to the scores that we already have. But Annie now only has 2 scores counting, so needs to tick another family. She's done the back roll, she's done the front roll family. Maybe some sort of 1 foot will also tick another category for her.
Still waiting on that score for Katarina, so we haven't yet released Annie.
Yeah, 2.03, that doesn't surprise me there.
And so that's no improvement then from Katarina. She has better scores across her 3 scored already. Annie hasn't got a 3rd score yet because she's done the same family.
Back roll 1 foot, that's what I'm calling. A back roll 1 foot.
Going away from the beach.
Or a front roll 1 foot, one of the two. Either way, her foot's coming off.
Oh
no, she went for the kite loop.
Both of them came off. You were right.
No, she went for the kite loop category. Not a bad shout there either. I mean, Katarina's kite loop scored a 2.33. And yeah, she could get a similar score around the 2.5, so that would put her right back in the mix. Yeah, anything above the 2 really does it for Annie. So Joanna, actually now she's also in 2nd place. It's pretty tight between 2nd and 3rd.
That's important, remember, because we are eliminating the 3rd place. And they will be able to see that as well on that scoring tower on the beach. The athletes, this is as much for the athletes as it is for everybody else. And not much time for her to go for something. Here we go. It was a crash last time. Lands this time.
Yeah, double back roll there. Nicely done. But she already has a back roll, 2.17. So it's not going to do anything other than maybe push that one out.
She needs a different family.
She's got to tick something else. And just a single front roll would do it. Just give her a little bit of an edge over Annie at the moment in third.
Progression between second and first, it doesn't really matter here. They both will be going through.
Yeah, the only thing it impacts is your positioning in the next heat.
Okay.
Whether you're going to be the first to jump in the final or the second to jump in the final. Okay. Sometimes that can be quite handy, you know, seeing what your competitors choose as a trick. You also being able to see the scores that they're actually getting can also help, you know, strategically plan maybe what you want to do.
Katarina Salandova then from the Czech Republic into the box once again. Oh, and lands pretty nose heavy there. Lucky to get away with it.
Yeah, that will score. But it's not going to do too much to the score, to be honest.
An improvement from Johanna Muller on that last trick, the 3.2 for the back roll. That ends up being judged as a back roll.
Yeah, and it's pushed that 2.17 out. Okay.
So puts her into second more solidly, and Annie needs a different family and a third score here, really.
Yeah, either the kite loop or some sort of board off is going to do it for her. I think she feels probably maybe more she's definitely comfortable doing the kite loops. Seen Annie ride in big air conditions, very, very competent rider. We saw her over in, she joined us in Germany for the Big Air Youth World Championships. Made it through to the finals there. But yeah, doesn't need to do anything too technical here. Looks like she wants to come in. There you go, back roll. Just a back roll there. I thought maybe she was going to go for a back roll kite loop.
And she's got a 3.23 for her back roll.
Yeah, which is actually a good score.
Which is her better score, yeah. Is she coming in, or is she just going to sit by the beach?
No. I think lost control there of the kite a little bit in the light conditions. You see it was stalling down, trying to save it, but unfortunately, she still has an attempt though. This is the last round of tricks now we're going into.
No, I think we've got another round, haven't we? Is it because it's 8?
7. Oh, there you go. And 2 rounds of tricks. My bad.
Yeah, 8 for this round, I believe. Was 7 in the last round. Why it needs to change just confuses. So we're waiting for Johanna. It's down, sitting literally on the beach, and then being released.
No, that was nice.
Oh, down she goes. And there's a bit of pressure on both her and Annie here. Either one of them scores a different family, and they're going through, really. The other one will be already heading home, or not, because I'm sure they'll be out in other disciplines, but never fun when you get eliminated in day one. Katarina is the leader of round 2, heat number 1.
Just the back roll there. Be interesting to see what was going on with the kite. I don't think that was definitely wasn't a kite loop.
She has a 2.33 for the kite loop that she attempted earlier, and a in the back roll family at 2.57.
Okay, this is an important one for Annie, because the last thing she really wants to do here is to crash and then have the pressure on the 8th trick to have like one shot at going through. Ideally now she can get a trick on the board, at least get herself into second place. I mean, she doesn't need a lot. She needs like a 1.3, which is easily achievable and on, you know, she can even go for a straight jump if she wanted to.
It's an improvement from Katarina Salandova, I noticed on the big screen there. Decent height and hang time from Annie Brandon. Was that a kite loop?
No, she didn't get the travel distance there. Just a straight jump, but a nice little bit of hang time.
But that's a bit of a nothing for her score, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough. Let's have a look here. Yeah, she wanted to take the 1 foot. You can see the back foot just there, just holding on by the toes. And she also was looking towards the back of the boards, you know, on takeoff. You can see frustration there. She wants that 1 foot.
Nobody told Johanna. Oh, no, she's going back out again. I was about to say nobody told her that she had another trick to go. But she does have another trick to go. Oh, dear. And she's getting some confirmation as to what to do from the beach. Out she heads. Needs just a score. She's only got 15 seconds, so she's not got a chance to tack. She's going to have to do it on away from the beach.
Yeah, that's a back roll with a grab. Nice bit of height, but let's have a look again. I mean, back roll, 3.2. I think the one that she did previously. I think she did a double back roll for that 3.2. So
she's got nothing in the cupboard, really.
She's left the door a little bit ajar for Annie, but Annie does need to, just land that final trick.
Annie needs a 1.5.
Yep.
And then she's, well, a 1.51 is good enough. So really just needs to do a different family if she's got it and to score. But Katerina Salandova is pretty much secure in victory. If Annie goes big and gets herself a 3-something, then
it's
true.
Possible, yeah.
She may not win. But as I say, first and second go through. So Katerina, pretty much a glory run for her.
Back roll 1 foot, but again, not really taking that back foot out. Just sort of taking out the strap, but not taking it away from the boards. For me, I see that as just the back roll. So it's all coming down to this last trick then. So like you said, just needs a 1.5 additional on what she's already got. Either she has an option of doing a kite loop, but I do think the conditions aren't favouring that trick category. One, because you're not getting the height and you're not getting the time to sort of swing back under the kite. You do want to go a little bit bigger when you're looping the kite. Also, riding a bigger kite, when you loop it, it's turning a lot slower. So actually, performing that move is a lot harder in these conditions. And you can see she's trying to pump to get some momentum going. She's actually not even in the competition area. So she still has, she needs to be tight with her time.
I don't think that's her.
No,
sure that's
correct.
a man.
That's one of the blokes that's riding out
She's
there.
right
Oh, here we go,
middle.
just in time. Back roll. Just a back roll. It's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a 3.23, which is the highest back roll we've got so far of this heat.
Again, so not anything in the locker for her.
2.83. That's done it. Maybe we missed something there. Did she loop the kite as well? Didn't see the kite. 8.13. She's gone into second place. Yes, she did loop the kite. She did a contra loop back roll. So there we go. We saw the back roll, but we didn't see the kite, so we were unable to see the loop. And she's only gone and done it.
Well done to Annie Branton.
There we go.
Great stuff. And that eliminates Johanna Müller from the competition. First lady to fall. And it's all about the kite, but you're not going to see the kite because it's out of frame.
Yeah, and the fact that she loops it going with her front. So a contra loop is when you loop the kite with your front hand, not your back hand. And yeah, just where the angle was there where we were shooting from, we were unable to see. It was high. The contra loop was high. It wasn't like necessarily in the apex of the kite window, let's say, where the maximum pull is. But she still did pull with the front hand, loop the kite while initiating that back rotation. So that was enough. I mean, it was even nearly enough to go into first.
Yeah, she misses out by 0.08, sorry. And that is the end of round 2, heat number 1. Katerina Salandova is the victor. She goes through into round number 3, along with Annie Branton and those that took victory in heats number 1 and 2, which was Christelle Divry and Andrea Zust. That will be round number. Hang on, will that? No, that will be.
We are in the final now. Yeah.
That'll be the final.
Yeah. We were going into the final. So unfortunately, it's the end of the road now for Johanna. But the other 4 can still battle it out. It's not going to be today because we now will be shifting our attention here at the event for our opening ceremony, where we'll be inviting all of our riders, our crew, and politicians and everyone important is going to be here, Ben. So we better make our...
We better get there.
We better get over there soon. Big thanks for joining us throughout this first day of the event. Onwards and upwards, let's say, moving forwards, with plenty more action coming throughout the next few days. And here in Abu Dhabi, fingers crossed for some more wins.
Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow.